Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a set in 1/48 scale and it comes as a Profipack, so you can notice this specific design which was recently renewed. So we have, let's say, brass here on the top, we have also black line on the bottom. It's P-51K Mustang, which is obviously based on the latest plastic from the famous Czech manufacturer, and now we have a chance to check it closer because it's a commercial sample, so that means that is the final shape of this model and it won't change. And of course it will be interesting to see what is actually included in this new edition. So first of all, box art is really beautiful. It would be, let's say, strange not to note it, and I think you can also get it as a part of Eduard series, so you can get a huge poster for your wall, and that's really cool thing that Eduard actually does this stuff. Also, you can notice that packaging is standard for this brand, so here is comparison with my hand. And again, box art is just, I mean, it deserves a double mention in this video. But next on the side here, we can see also some information about licensing, address of the manufacturer. By the way, kit number is 82105. And on the opposite side, you'll find all the markings which are included. So we have 6 markings included here. And this is really cool thing because you have a choice, and as you can see, these camouflages are quite colorful, so you'll definitely find something suitable for your build. Let's open it, and it's a top opening box. Here is what we have inside. Again, packaging styling is, I would say, something what you would expect from Eduard. As you can see, there is plenty of space, and we have sprues separated into several bags, so everything should arrive to you intact. And now I'm going to open the first plastic bag. I guess that's the sprue with the new parts, because it comes separately from all other parts. And if you have something to say about P-51K, feel free to write in the comment section. And by the way, I will remind you that you can also support us with a small donation. It is really, I would say, valuable source of income for us, because we are able to get some new kits to be reviewed in these videos, or maybe also to improve our equipment for a better photo and video quality. I hope you see the progress. So here we have wing parts, and overall parts design is quite standard, I would say. So we have 2 top panels and 1 bottom. Note that whole wing mechanization is separate here. It means ailerons and flaps can be seen here. And we have really nice external features as well. So if I zoom in, you can see recessed panel lines. They look quite convincing. We have also riveting, and of course the only thing required from you is to be careful with all this stuff, because it will be easy to, let's say, overdo it. We've been there. Everybody will be, experience such thing at once in their modeling career, so it would be dumb not to admit it. Note that there are also some guiding elements. It will help you with the proper alignment of these parts. Let's not forget that model is made in 1/48 scale, so that's why these parts are quite large, I would say, and that's why it is really good to see some guiding elements out of the box. Next we have another plastic bag, so it is dedicated to clear plastic frame. I'm going to open it right now. And this frame is a circular frame, but as you can see, it is quite large. We have here separate canopy parts. Of course, you can open the cockpit on this model, so that's a really cool thing. And overall, molding quality seems to be fine, so there is nothing to complain about. And masks should be included. We will see them further in this video review, because this is a Profipack, and Profipacks from Eduard, they usually feature masks, which are handy for a nice paint finish on your model. Next, what I'm doing is opening this plastic bag. So again, just give me a moment to take it away, and we will check what do we have here. So first of all, as you might have noticed, we have here Fuselage halves. Both are molded together with the tail fin and top cowling panel. We also have these sections of the wings. We have separate rudder. As you can see, it is not pre-molded with fuselage parts. And if I zoom in, you can see that we have nice recessed panel lines and rivets. Everything looks clean and crisp. And the same applies, of course, to the opposite half. And if I flip it over, inside again, we have some guiding elements. So it will be easy to work with this stuff, but as I said before, we have top cowling panel pre-molded, so be careful while joining these two together. It will require some due care, and of course if you make some mistake, it will be visible in such, I would say, notable area. Next, we continue with this sprue for fuel tanks. Here we don't have anything special. I mean, these are just typical fuel tanks. They should be glued out of two hulls, and there are minor guiding pins. They're not that easily noticeable, but there are, so maybe I can bring it closer, and if camera will be kind enough to focus, maybe we can try it like this. You will be able to see what I'm talking about. So they're really tiny, but I guess that will be more than enough for a nice alignment. Next, we continue with one more plastic sprue. So this one carries already a mix of various parts, because here we have cockpit floor, we have also fuel tank, we have propeller parts, we have also cockpit walls. You can see one here and one here. We have two types of the instrument panel, and of course various minor parts for the pilot workspace, let's say. But do not forget that you can also improve it with a separately sold brass set, which will completely replace the whole cockpit. So it's up to you whether you would like to spend extra and get more, or you are fine with these plastic parts, which will be, by the way, upgraded with PE parts, because this is a Profipack again. Next, we continue with this sprue. So here we have wheel wells, we also have landing gear wheel tires. As you can see, they are designed as a two-piece assembly, and of course here I would rather recommend to get a bracing replacement, because it will be a one-piece part, it will look more natural, and it will offer you a bit more features. But still, even this out-of-the-box thing looks quite nice, and it's just a matter of careful assembly. And of course, do not be afraid of this, let's say, multi-part assembly for the main wheels, because it just looks complex, but it should be really easy and quick to assemble. And the final thing is this gray plastic sprue. So here we have more of the various external stuff which can be installed on this aircraft, but frankly speaking, I'm not sure if all of them will be actually used, because this is a slightly different version of this famous US aircraft, so some of the external weapons or equipment might not be applicable to this particular type of the aircraft. Next, I opened the small plastic bag in order to take out this thing. So this is a pre-painted PE fret. As you can see, we have glazing on the dials, and again, mostly these parts will be handy in the cockpit, but still some of them will be used also on the outer surfaces, and that's really cool because they look quite nice, and it's just a matter of careful installation. Of course, you will have to use the CA glue, but in my opinion, this is a really worthy upgrade, so do not be lazy and apply all these parts, because they have a notable influence on the model. Next, we continue with the mask sheet. So it is also packed into the separate plastic bag. As you can notice, it is pre-cut, so it's ready to be used straight away. And as far as you can see, we have some circles, so maybe they will be useful with the landing gear wheels. But we will check it a bit later, because first I have to open a really big bag with two decal sheets. Actually, I think there are more, so let's take a look. Of course, both decal sheets are printed in Eduard, so you shouldn't be worried about any printing quality issues, and they should be quite easy to apply. By the way, also do not forget about the special carrier film technique, which is applicable with Eduard decals. So basically you can apply decals without the foil, and it will be even more natural finish, but it's more for let's say brave and experienced modelers. Note that we also have segmentation here. That's also a nice feature, because it will give you an easier access to all necessary symbols for this or that marking option. We also have some decals for the cockpit, but please use PE parts. Do not resort to decals if you have PE parts included in a special, in the standard package. Next we have, as I said, one more plastic bag. So this one is quite interesting because we have here checkerboards for one of the marking options, I guess, and they look quite nice. So it's more for modelers who don't want to waste their time trying to cut all these tiny squares, so they just can apply this decals on the aircraft and it will be quite a nice finish. As I said, Eduard decals are really good, so there is nothing to worry about. And next we continue with assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of typical Eduard brochure. We have a short history note on the first page. And next we continue with a parts map here. Note that blue color means that these parts will not be used in the actual model, so there are quite a lot of them, so be sure to use the right version of the parts. And next assembly starts with the cockpit, obviously, so we start with the pilot seat, then we continue with the cockpit floor and cockpit walls, then we join fuselage together, and as you can see we have the tail wheel well and also cockpit installed in between. We assemble the main wheel well, we assemble wing. Here we install wing on the fuselage, all tail fairings. Note that the instrument panel goes only after the fuselage is assembled together. This is quite interesting sequence of the assembly steps, but it might be handy in some cases. Next we continue with the tail, landing gear, leg and wheel, some parts for the air intake. And also we assemble the main wheels together with legs. We have masks, application guide. Do not forget that you have to use the liquid mask for the main section of the canopy. Next we continue with exhaust stacks, flaps and propeller assembled here. So here you have a choice whether you would like to open the canopy or close it. And the final step is installation of this underwing fuel tanks. So as you can see there are several options, but as I said, not all of the external equipment is used here. First marking option comes from autumn 1944. Next we continue with two more aircraft from February 1945 and March 1945. Here we have two more marking options, so I guess that's the checkerboard aircraft, but here we have aircraft from China 1945 and one more from summer 1945, and it is from India. Next, the final marking option is from Shima, so Le Shima, July 1945. We also have the separate guide for the aluminium lacquer painted areas, and here you can see the stenciling guide for this model. As I say, there are a lot of stencils, so do not be lazy, apply them all. This is not something what you can avoid because it will give you a bit more realistic looking model. So all in all, we get another nice model from Eduard. It should be already available on official Eduard website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!